Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 1월 29일 수요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. A relic gains the title of treasure when its value goes beyond numbers, indicating a price. The real value is based on its historical and cultural significance, especially when it marks a milestone moment for humanity. And that's the case with 직지, the world's first known text printed with movable metal type. 세계에서 가장 오래된 세계 최고의 금속 활자본인 직지 심체 요절이 세계 11개국 언어로 재탄생합니다. 청주시에 따르면 고 인쇄박물관이 직지 글로벌 웹사이트 구축 사업을 추진할 예정인데요. 이 사업은 한문으로 쓰여진 직지를 한글을 비롯해 중국어, 영어, 프랑스어, 일본어, 스페인어, 아랍어, 이탈리아어 등 11개국 언어로 번역해 웹사이트에 탑재하는 것입니다. 고인쇄 박물관 관계자는 직지를 전 세계에 효과적으로 알리기 위해 다양한 언어로 된 웹사이트를 만들기로 했다고 말했습니다. And the indisputable reason for something to be a treasure is when we look forward to sharing the value of such item with the whole world. And that's definitely going to be the case with the 직지, which is now going to be translated in 11 languages. Well, with that in mind, here's a quiz question. A set of letters and characters of the same style and size is known as this. 컴퓨터에서도 우리가 글씨체 바꿀 때 이거를 바꾼다고 하죠. 1번 font, 2번 A, B, C, 3번 easy as 1, 2, 3 골라주시면 되겠습니다. 네, 작가님이 별의별 걸 다 시켜요. 오늘도 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있습니다. 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 고칼슘 쌀룬 두유 보내드리겠습니다. 또 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문 있으시면 보내주세요. 반디 게시판 무료로 이용할 수 있고요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시면 되겠습니다.
Can I have my mic?
스티브 선생님 마이크 좀 틀어주시겠어요?
Don't blame the 작가님.
No?
No, don't say, oh, well, the script says I should sing. That
Okay.
was all you.
That was all me. It's not Paul's fault at all. I just like Michael Jackson and
I
the Jackson
know.
5.
Oh, really good, right?
Yeah, how are you, Steve?
I'm good this morning. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm much better.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Were you talking about, was this 직지? Is
Yes.
this related to the Johannes Gutenberg printing press thing at all? Do you know?
I'm not entirely sure, but what I do know is that this particular one, made in Korea, is known to be the world's oldest, the world's first text printed with a metal, what would you call it?
Like a press.
A
Yeah.
press,
I wonder
yeah,
if it
exactly.
is the Johannes Gutenberg thing. The only reason I ask is because I played that guy on TV.
Oh, okay.
I had one sentence to say. It was a very traumatic experience for me. So this is what happened. I got a call from EBS one day saying, Steve, we had an actor who had to cancel. So can you do the show, just one scene?
Yeah.
And I thought, me?
Okay.
So I said, okay, let's do it. So I drive down for like 3 hours in the EBS van to this location, and it was very official. You know, it was a big historical drama set. So it was kind of cool, you know. They had all the Hanuks around and
Right.
tons of actors, and they're all dressed up in their old kind of historical garb. And I met the director, and he said, okay, do you know your line? And at the time, now this is like 17 years ago,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So my Korean still isn't very good. But at that time, it was really bad. So my line was, 안녕하십니까, 하인즈 오는 조하네스 구텐버그입니다. 잘 부탁드립니다. That was my line.
Yeah.
But it was my first time in front of a camera
That's
acting.
quite long.
And it's a super long sentence. And I was terrified. And it's very intimidating, right? And the director goes, cue. And I thought, I said, 안녕하십니까. Heinsohn. Cut! He said, you have to speak louder. I was like, okay. Took us about a half an hour to get that one sentence out of me. I felt so terrible. And that was my acting career. I didn't get called back.
그렇군요. 국내에서 연기하고 계시는 외국인 분들이 이게 어떤 관문으로 여기는 그 드라마라고 해야 되나요? TV 프로그램 거기에 또 출연을 잠깐 하셨었군요.
Yeah.
직지와 관련된 거를 또 하셨다니.
Yeah.
근데 이제 대사를 틀려가지고 한 줄이었는데, 네, 그래서 예, 그 이후로는 연기를 하지 않으셨다는. 그 대신에 라디오 천재시잖아요.
Yeah, exactly. That was the extent of my acting career.
알겠습니다.
It was fun though.
Yeah, well, I mean, 직지 is, well, it was printed many hundreds of years ago, and therefore it is in the Chinese characters. But they're going to translate it into not only Hangul, but also Chinese, English, French, Japanese, Spanish, Arabic, Italian.
That's going to be
Yeah,
amazing.
it's going to be great.
Yeah, to see what was said back in those times,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Well, back to the current day and age. Yesterday, I was walking around my neighborhood and I realized that almost everyone had a mask on. Did you see that as well in your neighborhood?
I've noticed that. Yeah, everybody's.
I actually have mine with me right now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Everybody's doing what they can, right? And there's lots of information coming out from different sources about the proper measures to take.
Absolutely. 어제 주변을 좀 돌아보니까 거의 다 마스크를 쓰고 계시더라고요. 그래서 오늘 이제 국민 감염 예방 행동 수칙 읽어드리면서 오늘 방송을 시작하도록 하겠습니다. Let's go over the basic guideline issued by the government.
Yes, let's do that. So wear a mask when showing respiratory symptoms such as coughing, especially when going outdoors and to medical centers as well.
기침 등 호흡기 증상이 있을 경우 마스크 착용, 특히 외출하거나 의료기관 방문 시 착용.
Wash your hands for at least 30 seconds and as often as possible.
흐르는 물에 30초 이상 자주 손 씻기.
Do not touch your eyes, nose, or mouth.
눈, 코, 입 만지지 않기.
If you do have a mask, cough or sneeze into your sleeve and make sure your mouth and nose are fully covered.
네, 마스크가 없으면 기침 또는 이제 재채기를 할 때 옷 소매로 입과 코 가리기.
Inform medical staff if you recently traveled overseas.
해외 여행력을 의료진에 알리기.
If you have a fever or are showing respiratory symptoms like a cough or a sore throat within 14 days of returning from China, especially the Hubei province, including Wuhan, of course, call the Disease Control Center at 1339. Visit selected health centers first and make sure to inform medical staff of your overseas trip.
네, 후베이성 그러니까 우한시를 포함해 후베이성과 이제 중국 여행 후에 14일 이내 발열 또는 호흡기 증상, 기침, 인후통 등이 발생할 경우에 질병관리본부 콜센터 1339로 문의를 해주시고요. 선별 진료소를 우선 방문하고 의료진에게 반드시 해외 여행력을 알리시길 바라겠습니다.
Yeah,
Let's go over that one more time, just in English
Sure,
this time.
let's do it again.
Yeah.
So, if you're wearing a mask or wear a mask, please, when showing respiratory symptoms such as coughing, especially when you're going outdoors and to medical centers, wash your hands for at least 30 seconds and as often as possible. Don't touch your eyes, your nose, or your mouth. If you do not have a mask, cough or sneeze into your sleeve and make sure that your mouth and nose are fully covered. Inform medical staff if you recently traveled overseas. And if you have a fever or are showing respiratory symptoms like a cough or sore throat within 14 days of returning from China, especially the Hubei province and more specifically including Wuhan, call the Disease Control Center at 1339. Visit select health centers first. Make sure to inform medical staff of your overseas trip.
네. Well, with that said, let's go over today's global headlines.
Headline number one today.
Let's do the reading first, and we'll have the music in the background to go with that. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
Chinese authorities have said that the incubation period of the so-called Wuhan coronavirus is between 2 and 14 days, adding that reports saying the virus has infected 100,000 people are not true.
중국 보건당국이 신종 코로나 바이러스 감염증인 우한 폐렴의 잠복기가 최장 14일이며 확진자가 10만 명에 달한다는 소문은 사실이 아니라고 부인했습니다.
Concerns over the Wuhan coronavirus have caused further steep drops on markets around the world.
우한 폐렴에 대한 공포가 확산하면서 세계 주요국 증시가 급락세를 면치 못하고 있습니다.
The Pentagon has confirmed a U.S. military jet crashed in Afghanistan, whereas the Taliban, in stark contrast, has suggested the aircraft was shot down by the insurgent group.
아프가니스탄에서 미군 군용기가 떨어진 사건을 놓고 격추했다는 탈레반과 추락이라는 미군의 주장이 엇갈리고 있습니다.
Former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton has become a key figure in the case to remove U.S. President Donald Trump from office.
도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령에 대한 상원의 탄핵 심판에서 존 볼튼 전 백악관 국가안보보좌관의 증인 소환이 핵심 쟁점으로 부상했습니다. And now let's go over the stories.
Got a little ahead of myself today,
That's
didn't I?
fine.
Headline number one today, Chinese authorities have said that the incubation period of the so-called Wuhan coronavirus is between 2 and 14 days, adding that reports saying the virus has infected 100,000 people are not true.
중국 보건당국이 신종 코로나 바이러스 감염증인 우한 폐렴의 잠복기가 최장 14일이며 확진자가 10만 명에 달한다는 소문은 사실이 아니라고 부인했습니다.
So China's National Health Commission Minister Ma Xiaowei said on Sunday that the incubation period could range from 1 to 14 days and that researchers in China now believe the virus is infectious during that time. We've talked about this yesterday on the show,
We did
right?
briefly, yes.
Yeah, and the majority of the reported cases are in mainland China, where local authorities have quarantined several major cities and canceled Lunar New Year's events in Beijing and elsewhere. And multiple cases of the virus have been confirmed in Hong Kong and Macau and Taipei, Thailand, Vietnam, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, Australia, France, and the United States.
And there was a new case confirmed in Germany yesterday as well.
Yeah, on Monday, local authorities in Germany confirmed the country's first case. Also, Nepal has confirmed one case. Cambodia, they confirmed its first case on Monday, too. That, according to Reuters, citing Health Minister Mam Boon-heng. Sri Lanka also confirmed its first case on Monday.
네, 그렇습니다. 중국 보건당국은요, 잠복기가 최장 14일, 그러니까 2주를 넘지 않는다라고 얘기를 했고요. 일반적으로는 잠복기가 한 3일에서 7일 정도, 일주일 안쪽이다 이렇게 얘기를 했습니다. China also said that most of the people who have been infected are actually okay. And I think the overall tone that China was trying to give out yesterday was that people are not dying all over the place. They are actually okay. Of course, we have seen more than 100 deaths around the world, but of the thousands of people who are infected, most of them are recovering, and after 2 weeks maximum, you can get better.
Yes, and they have announced that the reports, the number of affected people reaching 100,000 are false. And this is what happens, of course, with the internet, right? When people go online and they leave their comments and then certain reports surface and then those reports spread like wildfire around the world. And China, I think, just wanted to make sure that people know exactly what's going on. And they have been praised for their transparency so far by the WHO.
그렇습니다. 이제 감염자가 10만 명이다라는 인터넷 소문이 돌고 있는데 이건 사실이 아니다라고 중국이 밝혔고요. 감염된 대부분의 환자는 상태가 양호하다. 특히 아동은 상대적으로 병세가 가볍다라고 얘기를 하면서도 감염의 주요 전파 경로는 침이나 분비물이라고 했습니다. 그렇기 때문에 반드시 마스크를 착용할 것을 권장을 하고 있고요. 손을 자주 씻을 것을 권장하면서 이게 최고의 예방책이다. 이렇게 얘기를 했습니다. But what is scary is that during that period when you are asymptomatic, when you don't show any of those symptoms, you can still spread this disease through saliva, if you cough, for example, without covering your mouth, things like that.
Yes, and Also, there's the criticism of the screening process. We talked about that yesterday, too, saying, if you already have the virus, but yet it doesn't show symptoms maybe up until the 14th day, then you could pass through that screening with no problem whatsoever. So, people are being vigilant. They are being as careful as possible, but they're taking proper measures, it seems. The deputy director of the National Health Commission's Protocol Management Bureau said that 4,130 people from 30 different medical teams have arrived in the Hubei province where the disease originated. And on Tuesday, 1,800 people from 13 medical teams arrived in Wuhan, and a total of 6,000 people from all over the country started working on quarantine and the eradication of this virus.
Well, the Korean government has announced that it will cover any of the medical costs related to tests or treatment for this new coronavirus. 4 have been confirmed here in Korea.
Like we said, we read those, being careful messages in the beginning of the show about what to do, and those are precautionary things, and I think it's important to be as careful as possible, but also not to panic as well.
네, 그렇습니다. 관련 뉴스로 이제 이 코로나 바이러스의 검사비라든지 진료비는 전액 건강보험공단과 국가 또 지자체가 부담하겠다고 정부가 밝혔습니다. Let's go on to headline number 2.
Concerns over the Wuhan coronavirus have caused further steep drops on markets around the world.
우한 폐렴에 대한 공포가 확산하면서 세계 주요국 증시가 급락세를 면치 못하고 있습니다.
Stocks in Europe and the United States are bouncing back from Monday's sharp sell-off, but South Korea's Kospi dropped 3.1% during its first day of trading after the Lunar New Year. Japan's Nikkei 225, it did not close for the holiday, by the way. It went down 0.6%. Markets in Shanghai and Hong Kong remain closed. Global markets began the week with heavy losses because people were nervous. Investors were nervous over the economic impact of the coronavirus, but there were signs of a recovery outside of Asia yesterday on Tuesday.
아무래도 증시, 주식 시장은 불확실성을 좋아하지 않죠. 그러다 보니까 이 코로나 바이러스에 대한 불확실성 때문에 투자자들도 이제 증시 개장을 두려워하고 있다. 이런 보도도 나오고 있습니다. 미국도 한 1%대의 주가 낙폭을 보고 있고요. 유럽은 2%대, 한국은 3%대의 낙폭을 보이고 있습니다.
I was watching economic analysts on the news last night, and the theme seemed to be China just can't catch a break these days. I mean, they had the issue with the United States over the trade wars, and now this is happening. Market-wise, they can't catch a break.
Right.
But Jeffrey Halley is a senior market analyst for Asia Pacific at Owanda, and he said that Asia remains in the quote-unquote firing line of concerns about growth as China contends with the virus. But he said that there is a silver lining. If positive news starts to come out of China, he said that the region is well-placed for a quick or speedy recovery.
Well, while stock prices are falling, gold prices are skyrocketing. So
That's what people tend to do.
그렇습니다. 안전자산인 금값은 고공행진을 하고 있다고 하네요. Leaving that story there, let's move on to our next one.
The Pentagon has confirmed a U.S. military jet crashed in Afghanistan, whereas the Taliban, in stark contrast, has suggested the aircraft was shot down by the insurgent group.
아프가니스탄에서 미군 군용기가 떨어진 사건을 놓고 격추했다는 탈레반과 추락이라는 미군의 주장이 엇갈리고 있습니다.
Afghanistan U.S. Forces spokesman Colonel Sonny Leggett confirmed in a statement that the aircraft was a U.S. Bombardier E-11A. That's a type of jet used as a military airborne communications node in that part of the world. This is the quote. While the cause of the crash is under investigation, there are no indications the crash was caused by enemy fire. And he also gave no information on casualties in the crash. But earlier, a Taliban spokesman said the plane had crashed and there were no survivors, but another version of the statement from the insurgents said that they had brought the plane down.
그렇군요. 미 국방부 대변인은 사고 원인을 조사 중이다. 그렇지만 적의 발포로 발생한 것은 아닌 것으로 보인다. 그런 조짐은 없다. 이렇게 얘기를 했습니다. 그러면서 이제 탑승자가 몇 명인지 또 사망자가 있는지는 공개하지 않고 있다고 외신이 전하고 있고요. 반면에 탈레반은 이 미 군용기를 격추했다. 이렇게 얘기를 하고 있습니다. 첩보 임무를 수행 중이던 그 항공기를 격추했으며 탑승자가 모두 사망했다라고 탈레반이 얘기를 하고 있어서 상당히 다른 얘기를 하고 있어요.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for officials because large parts of the Ghazni province, and that's where the plane went down, large parts of that province are controlled or at least are under the influence of Taliban militants, and that's going to make access to the plane difficult for
Right.
officials to find out exactly what happened.
네, 특히나 이제 탈레반 측에서는 어떻게 격추가 이루어졌는지 구체적인 얘기를 하지 않았기 때문에 미국 측에서는 사실이 아니다 이렇게 보고 있는 것 같고요. 탑승자 중에 미국 고위 당국자가 포함돼 있었다 이런 얘기를 탈레반에서 했으나 미군에서는 부인했습니다. Okay, well, staying with the US, let's go on to our next headline.
You were saying yesterday that with all of the news about the coronavirus and things going on in the world, that it seems like the impeachment of President Trump has kind of been swept under the rug in
Yeah.
the media, right? Headline number 4 today, former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton has become a key figure in the case to remove U.S. President Donald Trump from office.
네, 도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령에 대한 상원의 탄핵 심판에서 존 볼튼 전 백악관 국가안보보좌관의 증인 소환이 핵심 쟁점으로 부상했습니다.
Bolton has become a key figure in Trump's impeachment case after reports that Bolton's unreleased memoir makes the explosive claim that Trump told him that he was withholding military aid to the Ukraine to force its government to announce an investigation into a political rival. And that sent shockwaves through the trial and through everyone involved. But what they're saying, you know, senators who were shifting in their chairs to stay awake, we talked about that yesterday, is that the internet was saying, oh boy, this is so boring for
Yeah.
everyone involved. Well, after news broke of that, they came running through the corridors to argue whether Bolton should be called to testify or not.
Right. What's interesting is that Bolton used to be a paid contributor for Fox News, I believe it was, which is a very pro-Trump channel in the US. And for years, in fact, decades, he was a big supporter of not just Trump, but of course that side, political side. And now he's sort of going in the opposite direction. When he quit his job, we don't know if he was fired or if he quit voluntarily, but anyhow, when he did leave, he wasn't sort of on good terms with the president.
That's what President Trump said on camera. You know, when they asked when reporters asked if they thought or if he thought that Bolton should testify or not, he said, well, no, I don't think so because we didn't leave on the best of terms, I believe was his quote. So he's worried that just because of that, that might influence his testimony.
Indeed. Well, we'll have to see what happens.
We will. And if you're curious to know, I mean, you talk about, you know, it's not being covered in the news as much. I was flipping through the news channels last night. CNN and the BBC were talking largely about the coronavirus and Wuhan and the stock markets. I flipped over to Fox News, all about the impeachment
Really?
trial. So if you're looking for news on that tonight, I would recommend Fox.
네, 미국 정치 뉴스를 follow 하시는 분들은 이게 팍스와 CNN을 이제 비교하면서 보시는 것도 흥미 포인트가 될 것 같습니다.
At least last night it was.
All right. Okay, well, let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
A set of letters and characters of the same style and size is known as blank. Is it number 1, font, number 2, ABC, or number 3, easy as 1, 2, 3? Oh, now I know. Now I know why you did it. It's impossible not to.
There you go. 정답 맞추신 분들 중에 총 5분께 고칼슘 쌀른두유 보내드리겠습니다. 노래 듣고 와서 여러분의 사연도 살펴보고요. 뉴스 포커스 볼게요. This is Police with Every Breath You Take. 네, The Police의 Every Breath You Take 듣고 왔습니다. Sting's the lead vocalist of that group, right?
Yeah, that group, actually, the Police, they were only around for something like 5 years.
Oh,
I think from
really?
the late 1970s to the early 1980s.
That's it.
I think they did 4 or 5 albums in that time. And then they went on to their own careers. But they were an amazing band.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Definitely. All right, let's take a look at your messages. 3923님의 사연입니다. 회사에서 매일 문서 작업을 하는 공무원입니다. 출근길 만원버스에서 서서 가면서 듣습니다. 다리는 아파도 귀는 즐겁네요 하셨어요. This person is in the bus, standing, but listening to Morning Special. So they say that my legs hurt, but my ears are very happy.
Nice. We make your ears happy. That's a good slogan for the show.
네, 오늘도 화이팅 하시길 바라겠습니다. 3923님. 자, 6386님입니다. 수진쌤, 오늘 출근 10분 일찍 나왔는데요. 아니, 이렇게 여유롭다니요. 귀여운 고양이도 보이고 비둘기도 보여요. 평소에는 지하철 놓칠까봐 앞만 보고 뛰었었거든요. My New Year's resolution은 바로 10분 일찍 일어나기. Hang in there 하셨습니다. This person says they left for work 10 minutes earlier than usual and realized that there are so many things to see and enjoy because normally they'd just be rushing not to be late for work. But today they said, oh, there was a cat on my way to work and there was a little pigeon.
It's amazing the difference in how time feels.
Yeah.
In the evening when you're home from work, 10 minutes can pass. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? In the morning, those 10 minutes feel like 10 hours, right?
Really, it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hang in there. 정말 그러시길 바라겠습니다. 1358님, 어제 오늘은 허리가 너무 아파서 상쾌한 아침이 아니라 힘든 아침이에요. 잠 많은 제가 새벽 5시에 저절로 눈이 떠져 허리에 좋은 요가 스트레칭을 하니까 좀 낫네요. 건강할 때는 모르다가 아프면 소중함을 아는 우리 몸. 모스 식구들 건강할 때 건강 잘 챙기세요. 여러모로 건강한 하루 되세요 하셨습니다. This person says we don't realize how precious our bodies are until we get sick. And this person says they're having a lot of back pains recently and so they had to get up early because they couldn't, sleep because of the back pain and did some stretching. It feels a bit better, but nonetheless has realized that, we take health for granted.
We certainly do. And one little tiny thing, like one little tiny back muscle, and all of a sudden you can't even stand up.
It's so true.
Human beings, we are very, very sensitive, aren't we?
Yeah, really. 오늘 건강을 잘 지키는 그런 하루 모두 됐으면 좋겠습니다. 6412님 모닝 스페셜 매일 잘 듣고 있어요. 언젠가는 자연스럽게 다 들리겠죠? 하셨습니다. I'm listening to Morning Special as I always do, hoping that one day I'll be able to understand everything.
Someday you will.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
You will. Well, keep sending in your messages and greetings. Today we have 5 고칼슘 쌀룬 두유s waiting for you. Now let's go to our news focus stories. 자, 그러면 첫 번째 news focus 살펴보겠습니다. 아마존 정글에서 실종된 콜롬비아 여성과 14살, 12살, 10살 세 자녀가 나무 열매 등을 먹으며 버티다가 한 달여 만에 구조됐다고 보도됐습니다. Let's listen to the story.
A 40-year-old mother and her 3 children, aged 10, 12, and 14, have miraculously survived for more than 30 days after getting lost in the Colombian jungle. They were reported missing on December 19th and were found near a village in the northern Peruvian region of Ubaneto, close to the Colombian border, after surviving on fruits and berries. Reports in the country said the missing group were found by members of the indigenous Sequoia community who got in touch with Peruvian authorities.
네, 아마존 정글에서 34일 동안 실종이 됐던 이 어머니와 아이들. 근데 열매를 먹으며 버텨냈다고 해요.
It's an amazing story of survival to be lost for 30 days in the Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And they crossed into Peru. They didn't realize that they had crossed into Peru, and they were searching for the dad. And that's how all of this happened. But luckily, they were found by members of that indigenous Sequoia community, and everything is okay now.
네, 그렇습니다. 정말 다행히도 이 지역에 있었던 원주민에 의해 발견이 됐고 신고가 들어가면서 구조됐습니다. It's a miracle.
It is a miracle. And that's why we can say that the group of people have miraculously survived. Miraculously. It comes from the word miracle. It's hard to say. Miraculously. That's 5 full syllables, right?
Yeah.
Miraculously. But it means by a miracle.
네.
And we put this word before a verb, right? So I'll give you a sentence example. When I left the house today, I forgot my wallet, I forgot my keys, and I missed the bus. But miraculously, I made it to work on time. So you can see that verb is a past tense verb coming after miraculously.
아하, 그렇군요. It's an adverb, as you said, 부사고요. Miraculously 그러면 기적적으로 뭔가가 이루어졌다 이런 뜻이 되겠습니다.
So our listener who texted in the New Year's resolution to wake up 10 minutes earlier
Yeah.
every single day, you could say, I miraculously have been keeping this resolution so far, or miraculously I've kept it up to date.
Yes, 기적적으로 뭔가 지켰을 때 여기서는 이제 생존했을 때, 구조됐을 때 얘기를 할 수 있겠고요. And finally it says, get in touch with authorities.
Yeah, this is a pretty simple expression, but I put it in here because we use it so often, right?
Yes.
So reports in the country, they said that they were found by this indigenous Sequoia community who got in touch with Peruvian authorities. So to get in touch with means to contact. Somehow, some way, telephone, email, text message, doesn't matter. As long as you contact someone, then you are getting in touch with them. I'll give you a sentence example, a question example. At work, maybe your boss will ask you, did you contact our client? And you can change that into, were you able to get in touch with our client? Were you able to get in touch with our client? Meaning, were you able to contact? I'll give you another one. Easy. I'll be in touch. That's simple, right?
Yeah.
It's when you say to someone, I'll contact you later, we usually don't say, I'll contact you later to our
Right.
friends. We
Yeah.
say, yep, I'll be in touch. But here's what we don't say. Get in touch with me.
Okay.
We don't say that, get in touch with me. We usually use it about other people.
아, 그렇군요. I'll be in touch, 연락할게 이런 뜻이 되겠고요. 아니면은 keep in touch라고 해서 뭐 연락해 이런 의미로도 쓸 수 있겠습니다.
But what we do say is stay in touch.
아, stay in touch.
Yeah.
아하,
Don't lose contact.
stay in touch. 뭐 이메일 끝에다가 써도 될 것 같고요. 아니면 그냥 말로 해도 됩니다. 연락해 이런 뜻이 되겠어요. Okay, well, let's go right to our second news focus story. 자, 바로 두 번째 뉴스 포커스로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 빠른 속도로 확산하고 있는 일명 우한 폐렴으로 통하는 신종 코로나 바이러스에 대한 최초 경고는요. 세계보건기구도 미국 질병통제예방센터도 아닌 AI, 그러니까 인공지능이었던 것으로 나타났습니다. Let's listen to the story.
During the kind of virus outbreak that China and other nations are now contending with, time is of the essence. But now the world is better equipped to deal with a problem like this than it used to be. Blue Dot, a Toronto startup whose AI-driven health monitoring platform analyzes billions of data points, alerted its clients to the outbreak on December 31st, faster than the World Health Organization and U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Blue Dot uses different techniques to sift through global news reports, airline data, and reports of animal disease outbreaks, allowing the company to send alerts to its clients in the public and private sectors.
Yeah, and especially with the airline data that you mentioned there, this AI was able to track down a pattern, or I suppose identify a pattern.
I guess that's what the AI does, is that they go through all of this information and then they are able to identify an outbreak faster than, in this case, the World Health Organization and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That's pretty impressive.
It is.
It's It's also nice to know that AI is capable of, with so much bad news about AI and people complaining about it in the media these days, it's used for this type of use too.
I feel exactly the same. So time is of the essence.
Yeah, this is an expression that means we are short on time or we don't have much time. And I think if we look at the situation in China and in other countries about this coronavirus, we know that we are short on time. We need to fix this very quickly. That's why we say in China, with this virus, time is of the essence.
네. 직역을 하면은 시간이 가장 중요하다인데요. 사실상 뜻하는 것은 시간이 별로 없다 이런 의미가 되겠습니다. 실제로 사망자가 계속 늘어나고 있는 상황이기 때문에 최대한 빨리 경고가 널리 퍼지고 그 다음에는 예방을 할 수 있는 그런 대책이 필요하겠죠. 그래서 시간이 얼마 없다. 시간이 가장 중요하다. Time is of the essence.
Yes. Now, in the context of the article, we're talking about a very serious situation, but it doesn't have to be. Let's say that you have a restaurant reservation for 7 p.m. And your partner and your children, they are kind of lollygagging. Ooh, that's a good one, lollygagging. They're taking their time. Oh, yeah, I'll put my shoes on soon. Come on, it's 6:50 p.m. Time is of the essence. Meaning we don't have much time. Hurry up.
일상생활 속에서도 시간 없어 서둘러서 나가자라고 할 때도 time is of the essence라고 할 수 있겠네요.
Very fancy expression, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to sift through information?
It's what this company does. It's what their AI does. They use different techniques to sift through global news reports. So to sift something means to filter. If you are a baker, then you might have kind of a strainer type kitchen device, and you put flour in there, right? That's called a flour sifter.
Yeah.
And it gets out the big chunks of flour and the small particles fall through. So when we are sifting through something, it means that we are going through it carefully while we're looking for something. We hear this a lot after an earthquake. First responders are sifting through the rubble, right? They're looking through carefully to try to find people, of course, in that case. But you can sift through papers to try to find mistakes. It's anytime you're looking through something to look for something else.
네, 그렇습니다. sift 자체는 주방 도구 중에서 거름망 같이 생긴 거 있죠. 그 도구를 말하는데 sift through something 동사로 썼을 때는 걸러내다 이런 의미가 있습니다. 여러 가지 인터넷에 있는 정보들과 그다음에 각종 항공편과 관련된 정보들을 전부 다 가지고 빅데이터가 있는데 이걸 걸러내고 추려내서 지금 이렇게 어떤 코로나 바이러스 질병이 퍼지고 있다라는 것을 AI가 먼저 알아낸 것이에요.
In the morning, you might sift through your clothes looking for something to wear.
Yeah, and say, I don't have anything to wear
That's what
again.
people say, right? Yeah.
All right. Well, those were our first two stories. We'll get to another one in a short while. But first of all, let's remind our listeners of the quiz again.
A set of letters and characters of the same style and size is known as blank. Is it number 1, font? Is it number 2, ABC? Or number 3, easy as 1, 2, 3?
네. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판 무료로 이용 가능합니다. 총 5분께 고칼슘 쌀룬 두유 보내드리겠습니다. Jessie J의 Flashlight 듣고 올게요. Don't you just love the song selections of our show?
I know someone who does.
Yeah, 유춘자 님이요. 오늘 모닝 스페셜 노래 선곡 짱 좋아요. 물론 영어 공부할 수 있어서 좋고요 하셨는데.
I agree. Nice song choices.
Yeah,
today.
it's our producers select the songs most of the time, and they're just fantastic, aren't they?
If the song choices were always up to you, Sue, what would we be listening to mostly?
A lot of musical-related songs.
Yeah.
But these days, I'm really into Maroon 5's Memories. Have you heard that song?
How's that one go?
It has a Pachelbel's cannon in the background.
Taco Bells?
No, Pachelbel.
Oh, the composer. I thought you meant in the music video. There was a Taco Bell behind Adam Levine.
No, the song is based on Pachelbel's canon.
Oh, okay.
And Adam Levine sings tunes that are similar but not the same as the well-known canon. And I'm really into that song. Maybe we could play it sometime.
How does the canon go?
Da, 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 da,
yes.
da, da, da. Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Not Taco Bell.
Yeah, not at all, actually, yes.
All right. Talking about food, though, earlier on I mentioned sift. That's a verb. It's not a noun. The noun form of the tool you used would be a sieve, spelled S-I-E-V-E.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to our news focus number 3. 자, 그러면 세 번째 뉴스 포커스 살펴보겠습니다. 오는 3월 파리시장 선거에 집권당에서 후보 2명이 동시에 출사표를 내자 에마뉴엘 마크롱 프랑스 대통령이 지지율이 낮은 후보를 불러 출마 포기를 종용했지만 실패했습니다. 프랑스 집권당은 결국 스타 수학자 출신 후보를 당에서 퇴출하기로 했는데요. 이 후보는 무소속으로 출마한다는 입장이라 현재 지지율 1위인 아니달고 파리시장에 크게 유리한 그런 국면이 조성됐습니다. Let's listen to the story.
The boss of Emmanuel Macron's LREM party has announced moves to expel Cédric Villani from the party. Known as the mathematician, he has refused to stand aside in favor of Macron's favored candidate, Benjamin Griveaux, in the race to be mayor of Paris. With the first round of the local and regional elections due in March, Macron summoned Villani on Sunday to try to persuade him to team up with Griveaux, but Villani refused. Macron's hopes of winning the city hall now look dashed as centrist voters will be split as Villani is running an independent rival campaign.
Cédric Villani is also known as Spider-Man, not because he climbs anything, but because of his brooches.
Yes, he wears a spider brooch.
Yeah.
An interesting character. And this is interesting politically because Emmanuel Macron wants Griveaux and Villani to work together.
Yep.
And Villani, they call him kind of a maverick.
Yeah.
Going back to a term often used by Sarah Palin, right? He's kind of a maverick, kind of an independent thinker, freewheeler.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I don't want to work with him. I want to run on my own. And that kind of puts Macron in a difficult spot politically.
그렇습니다. 거미 브로치를 이렇게 항상 착용을 해서 굉장히 유명해진 세드릭 빌라니, 수학 천재이기도 합니다. 수학계의 노벨상이라고 하는 상을 수상하기도 했었는데요. 이제 파리시장 선거에 나서겠다라고 얘기를 하고 있습니다. 마크롱은 안 했으면 하는 좀 바람이 있는 것 같아요.
So Villani wants to be the mayor of Paris. Macron wants Griveaux to be the mayor of Paris. And Grivani said, no, sorry, I don't want to stand aside. So to stand aside can be used in a literal or a figurative sense. In the context of the article, it's used in a figurative sense, but the meaning is to get out of the way, right? So Macron is basically saying, work with Griveaux and let him be the mayoral candidate, right? Let him win. We want him to win. So move out of the way,
right,
in a figurative sense. But Villani said, no, I'm not going to move out of the way. I'm not going to stand aside.
물러서다라는 뜻의 stand aside가 쓰였어요. 마크롱 대통령이 세드릭 빌라니에게 물러서면 좋겠다라는 얘기를 했지만 그러기 싫다. 나는 그냥 뭐 무소속으로라도 출마를 하겠다 이런 얘기를 했죠.
You might see this in dramas or movies if there are people blocking the police and the police approach and then they don't say please move out of the way. They say stand aside. And that means move out of the way.
그렇죠.
In that context, it's the literal meaning of the word.
네. 미드에서 많이 볼 수 있는 그런 표현이네요. 경찰이 옆으로 물러서세요 라고 할 때 stand aside 라고 할 수 있습니다.
And Macron, like I said, it puts him in a difficult spot because voters will now be split between Griveaux and Villani instead of voting for the same team, right?
Right.
So split means divided. S-P-L-I-T, split. Again, it's a difficult word to pronounce perhaps, but it means divided. So has this ever happened to you? It has happened to me. You bend over and your pants are too tight and all of a sudden
It may have happened.
you hear right? Well, we say that is to split your pants.
아이고.
And we say split because now your pants are divided.
Right.
You have pants on one side and pants on the other side. I'll give you another example. Splitting your time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we talk about work-life balance. So you can say it's tough, because I'm a manager and I have children at home. So it's difficult to split my time between the office and my home.
아하, split 그러면 나누다라는 뜻이 있는데요. 여기서는 원래 빌라니가 마크론을 굉장히 좋아하는 지지를 하는 입장이었습니다. 그래서 같은 당이었는데 마크롱은 계속 이제 그리보를 지지하는 그런 입장을 보여왔기 때문에 빌라니가 무소속 출마를 하겠다고 밝힌 거고 그로 인해서 유권자가 이제 갈리게 됐다. Voters will be split.
Yeah, voters on one side and voters on the other. When we talk about elections and campaigns, we often use this term split voters.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, that was our third news-focused story. And already it's time to check the answer to the quiz.
A set of letters and characters of the same style and size is known as number 1 font.
네, 1번 폰트가 정답이 되겠습니다. Congratulations! 샤데이님, 전은혜님, 최영숙님, 6412님, 그리고 1200 끝번호 쓰시는 분, 고칼슘 살론 두유 보내드리겠습니다. Steve 선생님, what is the expression of the day?
The expression of the day is lollygag. What a
Lollygag.
What a weird word, right?
Very.
I think it's spelled Lollygag.
Uh-huh.
And what it means, well, I'll tell you what it means in a sec. I just want to drink some
네.
water.
선생님 왜 이렇게 게으르게 가요 지금? 뭐 하시는 거예요?
I'm lollygagging.
아, 럴리가깅 하고 계시구나. 네.
So I think if you have children and, okay, come on, time to do your homework. And your children, okay, I have to do this first. And they're moving really slowly, right?
사전적인 의미는 뭐 게으르게 움직이다인데 뭔가 어영부영 뭐 이렇게
Yeah.
빨리 뭐 숙제해야 되는데 숙제를 책상에다 딱 두면은 오늘 하늘이 굉장히 예뻐 보여요.
Yes.
갑자기
So you say,
종이 접기를 좀 할까?
so you as a parent say, and I heard this many times growing up, stop
저도 그랬어요.
lollygagging.
Me too.
Yeah.
저도 I lollygagged a lot when I was little. 재밌는 표현이네요. lollygagging 되겠습니다. Okay, well, thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you very much for having me. As always, enjoy your Wednesday. It's Wednesday today,
Yes,
right?
it
I thought
is.
it was Thursday for a second. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great day, Steve. Well, coming up in the second hour of Morning Special, we have the Power English team with Say What? And we also have our travel segment with Alex. 기대가 많이 되는 2부입니다. Elton John의 Don't Go Breaking My Heart 듣고요. 잠시 후 뵙겠습니다.